All right, Sensation back at you. I've been trying to figure out what to do for our next Tuesday's video. So you'll be happy to know that I decided to go old school with it. And when I say old school, we're going to build an old school beast. We've already got it mostly built, so we're just going to do some changes to it to make it an old school beast, okay? So we got this old thermal take case right here that I picked up in a marketplace find that I probably never introduced you to. And this goes on here, something like that, and then that pops back in, and we got side panels for it. But we got to get all the wiring hooked up, do a little dust management, and we got to figure out how to mount our second R9 280X in here. We got a 1,000-watt power supply, so why not do it, right? Why not Crossfire it? We got the thermal take Freon cooler in this one. You've seen that in the video. This is an Asus Sabertooth board that's got a i7 960 in it overclocked, and you can see all our memory sticks filled up and populated there. It is a working system. It doesn't have a hard drive in it, but we got our little 120 gig we're going to throw in here. And we are just going to build us a little benchmarking machine right here. This case isn't really big enough to run the dual graphics. This piece right here is going to be on our way, but that's okay because we're going to take some bolts out and remove it, okay? We're going to find somewhere to mount our solid state drive. And we got a lot of cables and stuff to hook up and a lot of stuff to get hooked up in here and working. Front fans that need plugged in. We don't have any top fans on it yet. We do have a rear fan back there, so that's good. I'm going to set you guys and gals up on a tripod. We're going to go fast forward while you watch me try to transform this into a Crossfire beast. So likely any and all of you old school builders know the struggles and limitations of these old cases. Cable management shit in them. Pardon my language, but it is. I don't like my Sabertooth board because we don't have a USB 3.0 on it, so we're going to have to put that to the side for now. I can buy an adapter that'll allow us to hook that up in the future. We're going to do our two cards. I have all the cabling hooked up now, so our hard drive's hooked up, everything's plugged in. I got both the front fans hooked up. I think the rear fan's hooked up down there, so we're good there. We got to do a little cable management here, get our graphics cards in, and then start tidying up around that. Some of this we'll have to tidy up before that, though, so I'm going to need plenty of more zip ties, which means I may have to run out to my shop. But we'll see here. I'll look and see. I think all I got's cut off ones there. And throw that trash away. I got one left there. Oh, and I knocked my box of screws over, so I have to pick all that crap up. I'm not happy. I'm not happy about that. So, I don't know. Comment section. You can comment on this one. What did you do for cable management in your old cases? Because you can't, there's no room in the back to fit these. I mean, we can sit and pretend like there is, but there's not. Those shorter PCI Express, though, I can use on the other stuff. I'm going to try, actually, let me see exactly what I want to do. So, this one needs wrapped up. We know that for a fact. So let's get it wrapped up. let's go ahead and get this one that's running to our hard drive wrapped up as well. And then we'll get them tied together. Let's get this one where it's not running around upside down, you know, inside out kind of crap, because we can actually run it over here. Those are all of our PCI Express hookups. So let's go ahead and get a zip tie on this setup right here, this whole wrap. We'll get this whole wrap, and I'm going to try to stuff this down under that basement right there. It's not really a basement, but you can see where I'm going with it in a minute. Tighten it up nice and tight too. Pinch all your cables off, kink everything, that way it shorts out and it's bound not to work, right? I'm just kidding, don't do that. Don't do what I do. You can watch old videos. You could possibly burn a computer down or possibly even burn your house down. But we're going to get as much as we can stuffed up under here. Because let's be honest, it looks better than... And we can put screws back in that when we're done. Just pick it up and stuff the stuff under there, right? And then we'll get the screws in it. That'll bow it all up and should work perfect. It ought to not burn anything down. Do what I do at your own risk, honestly. I would have screws for this, but I literally knocked my box of screws over and every screw in my existence, and I cut my fingers up at the same time. Look at that. Sharp metal on these cases, right? We might have a couple screws here that'll work. We'll see. This is the tedious part, and that's why I always fast forward you through this part of it, because it's the tedious part of the Feast your eyes upon the complete unit right here. Not disappointed in it. I got a little work to do in one area. It don't look bad though. Heck, we could get away with some RGB in that one. I got to work on this up here. That corner was bent a little bit and I can't get this to screw back in, so I don't know if I need to do some retapping up there or what, but we'll get it fixed. But we got the case complete so you can see it. I'm going to dust it off real quick before we hook it up and fire it up. Yeah, I mean, that Freon cooler takes up every bit of that, right? It's a big air cooler, but it looks good. I mean, you can't deny that. Let's set you up here. It looks good. Okay, let me straighten my monitor out. I done got mad and hit it and twisted it, but we can put it in an angle for you right here so you can see it better. Oh yeah, we got some cabling in that guy and that big girl, but not a bad looking unit at all. Takes you back, don't it? You remember your R9 280s, R9 290s? My kid had a badass one. He had a R9 295X, which was the dual graphics chips. The dual R9 290s on one card. That's right. It come with a liquid cooler only. Because these things were, I don't know, they were notorious for running hot, basically. So you're going to get some heat out of these. AMDs were, in general, My last night's live stream, I pulled this one out just so we could boot it up, but we didn't do a whole lot with it because we found that the hard drive wasn't. It's got UEFI bootloader and we need legacy. So I'll have to go over and create a USB before we can boot this up, but that's fine. I've got plenty of USBs, so I'm gonna have to start marking them though. I know my red one has Windows 11, my blue one has Windows 10 IoT Enterprise, but what do we want to put on this one? You want Windows 11 on it, or you want Windows 10, or our dual graphics card R9 280X LGA 1366 Beast Libs. We're in the BIOS right now. The time appears to be correct as well, so I don't know. The date 8/22. If it is, it is. It's 8/22, so maybe it is right. So we got an overclock going on. Our target CPU frequency is 3850 megahertzes. Oh yeah. Target DRAM 1234 megahertz. We're running the i7 Crazy 3.85 gigahertz profile right here. So that's our overclock. I just went with one that Asus already had in there. We're just in the BIOS right now because I'm waiting for my bootloader to get done. So let's take a look at the hardware monitor, see if we're overheating or not. I don't know, will it even work? Yeah, it does. Motherboard temperature is 34 degrees Celsius with a CPU running at 42.5, so not too bad right now. We're on silent CPU profile. Let's see if we can change that. We don't go turbo. How about standard? We can use standard on it, but we are definitely pushing some air out of the back of this machine. I'm not kidding you. And it looks like all of our fans are working in it. Put a light on there. Yep, both front fans are spinning, rear fans spinning, CPU fans, I don't know, yep, we're spinning those too. So we're moving air through the machine. There's nothing wrong with that. And when our bootloader gets done, we're going to be moving air, more than air, through this thing. We're going to get Windows installed, and I'm going to put you on the capture card while we do it. I'll tell you what, I have to add a second camera. If we're going to use the capture card, switching back and forth with the GoPro, pulling the SD card out of it, putting it back into it is just ridiculous. Alright, so there's our hard drive. You've seen me get these before from Best Buy. I got the computer unplugged, so I'm going to pull our HDMI cable out since it's in the way. And I'm just going to get this back panel off where we can access our hard drive that we put in it. Oh, why not wrench those down with a screwdriver, right? Jeez Louise, sensation. I'm going to get you on a tripod too, so you can kind of see what I'm doing here, but maybe you don't need to see it. You see me put the first hard drive in, that was a failure. I'm going to blame that shit on Windows 11 too, pardon my language. Because I don't think there's anything wrong with the hard drive. I'll put it on our test board, obviously, when we're testing boards again. But I'll bet you money there's nothing wrong with that drive. I'll bet you that that Windows 11 update that has been destroying hard drives was probably on that, because if you remember, I had it installed in something. I don't know if you remember it or not, because I might not have been recording it. But I had it installed in something, and it updated to the latest update. So that's probably what's wrong with it, to be honest with you. But I'll bet money when I get this guy back together here, I get the new drive in it, that we don't have any problem loading Windows. So I got the hard drive out now. I'm going to unbolt it from the cage here. Luckily, I only put 2 screws in it. So that's a good side, right? You can't see me anyway, but let's get you over here where you can. So luckily, I only got a couple screws in this thing down here. What is going on? What the dickens is wrong with this thing? There we go. Now you can see. So we'll get a couple screws out here. We'll get the new one out of the box. Well, it'd help if I just screw it all the way out before I try to pull the thing out of there. Alright, so there's our little 120 gigabyte drive. Now we're going to get our PNY drive out of the box here. Oh, we got a razor blade, so why do we mess with this stuff? You got a razor blade, get your razor blade out and cut your finger. That's what I would like, what I would advise doing. That's what I do. I drew blood today, by the way. You've seen it. It's on camera. You're going to see it even. We drew blood. We're good now, though, except for our drive to Best Buy wasn't the best, but if you live in Central Florida, you'll know why. Because we were sold out. They were wrecked on every main road getting back to my house, and it took me an hour to drive back, and it should have been a 20-minute drive, so you can imagine the kind of mood I was in. They were wrecked on every major road that went north coming to my house. And you can't make that up. We're going to put our hard drive back in place here. I like how these kind of hook onto here. So what it does is it literally slides into this thing. And it kind of clips in there, and then that holds it down. Really, it's a shitty design. They should have just run metal tabs off this that screwed in. That would be the smarter way to do it, but they did it shittier, honestly. I can't really see what I'm doing here, but I'm gonna pretend like I'm doing this right, and then we'll see if we can get our new drive plugged in, and we'll see if it works. How about that? Be nice to get our Windows installed. I'm not gonna flip the camera and set all that back up again either while I'm doing this. I'm just going to keep you guys rolling with it. Just like I am right now. I'm going to keep you rolling the same way. We'll get this drive plugged in. SATA plugged in on it. And we're just going to see if it'll load into Windows real quick. So we got our boot drive in there already. I'm going to turn you this way. Tighten you up a little bit because it's kind of loose there on the tripod. We're going to plug this guy in. We're going to turn this on. We're going to press that power button. And then we're going to spam F8 like the key's broken. And we should get a screen here, I would think, because no, we don't have HDMI cable hooked up. Come on. Gotta be kidding me. Alright. We're probably going to have to shut it off and turn it back on again. Nope, maybe not. Is it going to get me to the boot menu? Okay. Let's try this one more time. We got our HDMI hooked up, so the screen's working. Let's power this up and let's spam F8. I'm hoping we can make this work, but we'll see. Hitting F8 like it's going out of style. Keyboard lit up. It takes it a little longer to light this screen here because it'll post over on the other screen first. Because it goes through the capture card, so there we go. So our U-disk is what we want to boot from, but it is showing our PNY 500 gig SATA SSD. So we're going to hit that, and we'll go into the bootloader, and I'll cut you guys back on. I don't know if it's going to work or not, but we're going to try it. It's a brand new hard drive, and I have not bought one of those PNYs yet that did not work out of the box. So we'll let it start loading in here, and then I'll cut you guys back on, and we'll start going over the build. I'm going to get the back side panel on. Plus, it's getting late, and I'm hungry, and we're going out to dinner tonight. So I'll probably cut you back on tomorrow or the next day. I don't know. But we'll have the video done before the Tuesday night drop for you. But you see it right here. Gosh, I'm excited about this one, guys and gals. I really am. We got the whole Crossfire going here. We had to get a better hard drive for it. Yeah, it's a 500 gig, but the little bit of stuff that I'll do with it, it'll work fine. And what an old gaming beast we have here. It is a beast, literally. You can see it for yourself. We got the cool Freon cooler. It's a Thermaltake cooler in the Thermaltake case, and it barely fits in there. She's right up against that side glass right there. Side plastic, we'll call it. But that's in decent shape. It's got some scratches in it like the case does, but overall the case looks pretty darn good and I like it. So what can you say? You can comment down there and tell me what you think about these old Thermaltake cases. I think they're pretty cool. And overall, what do you think about the build? I think it's pretty cool too. I'm pretty excited about this one. Should we put RGB in it? No, not on this old rig. Just let it fly like it is. I'm pretty sure I put Windows 11 on it, but that sure does look like Windows 10. I know I didn't put Windows 10 on it. The blue one should be Windows. I don't even know what color's what. I need to mark those things probably. This should have Windows 11 on it though, I would think. Yeah, that's definitely Windows 11. It's funny that the boot menu looked like Windows 10. Windows 11 Pro 24H2, you can see it as well as I can on the screen. So I didn't make that up. It is activated, as you can see. I did run some bench testing on it, so I'm going to show you the Nova Bench results, which wasn't real impressive, and I'm going to tell you why. So I'm going to pull that up real quick. And something that I thought about last night after running these tests on this thing, this only has a 4-core 8-thread, so it's not like my other 1366s that have a 6-core 12-thread in it. This has a 4-core 8-thread. You can see we went an 1143. I think we're at 47%. We rank higher than 47% of all systems tested. We are green all the way down, so we didn't have no bottlenecks. It does not test in Crossfire. That is one graphics card, so it's not the Crossfire setup. But still, overall, solid scores. This could be higher, though. I mean, we literally have 4 cores and 8 threads there when we could have 6 cores and 12 threads for cheap. So I'm going to have to order a processor for it because I don't have any more of those Xeons laying around. I don't think I'm going to put a Xeon in it anyway. I think I'm actually, because of the pricing, going to go with a i7 980 or a 990. And that'll give us 6 cores and 12 threads at about the same speed, and then we should be able to overclock easily over 4 gigahertz on one of those. So that's the Nova Bench score, 1143, 591 on the CPU, 275 on the GPU, 232 on the memory, and 45 on our 500 gig PNY hard drive. So we got Heaven benchmark on here. We're going to do this real quick. This should run in Crossfire, but I don't think it's working right either. I just don't, because it used to run a lot harder in Crossfire than this. And I almost think it's a Windows 11 thing because it doesn't support these cards really. There were no drivers built for Windows 11, which means that the Crossfire might not technically work like it should. So we're going to let that run and play out. But I don't know, it's showing pretty decent frame rates down there. So it may be utilizing the Crossfire right now. We may be running dual graphics cards because one R9 280 ain't going to hold 150 frames a second by itself on high settings. I know that. I don't know what fell behind me, but it didn't fall on me, so we're okay. If it falls behind you and don't fall on you, you did fine. So we're just doing an OBS recording on this part of the video. I'll shut that down at the end of this. I don't think we're going to run through all the tests here. We'll run through about 12 or 13 of them because that'll give you a good idea. You can look at the FPS down there on the... Can you see it on the bottom right? No, the camera's blocking it. Dang it. It's holding about 150 frames a second. I'll tell you what I may do. I may just pause you out and then bring you back when the test is over. All right, now you can see the bottom right-hand corner to see the FPS, but the test is almost over here, so we can see how it scores on Heaven. And the computer held up fine. There's no crashing on it or nothing. So it's putting out a lot of heat in the back though. So she's definitely warm. And we kind of expected that. We went 148.8 on our average FPS, a 3747 on our score, 9.4 on our low, 283.8 on our high. So not real bad for a machine of this age and setup. I'm pretty happy with it. I am. We definitely need to go with 6-core processor in it though. That'll wake this thing up quite a bit. But I'm going to close this part of it out. All right, you got to love these old machines. They will just flat put some heat out the back. That's right. These 1366s love to put the heat out. I'm happy with the build. I really am. I'm kind of excited that we finally got it built, right? You hear me talk about it a lot, the Asus X58 board. And I didn't know what configuration I wanted to go with it. And then I just kept looking at this case and I'm like, gosh, I have to do it. I have to do this, right? I can take the hard drive tray out pretty easily. We can put our dual Sapphire 280Xs in here. And what a build, you know? But man, it's like having a personal space heater, and I ain't just kidding you. We have the Radeon software on here though. So we can go to the performance on it, turn our overlay on and just click it, and it'll bring it up right there in the top right hand corner. So you can see we're 48 on GPU 1, 47 degrees, 43 degrees on GPU 2. They're probably still cooling down after the testing here, but we do got 24 gigs of RAM in this machine. So we got enough memory in it. We're running Windows 11 Pro, so this is a good video if you want to install Windows 11 on unsupported hardware like a first gen Intel i7 setup. Well, obviously you can, and it'll work because I did it, right? I mean, it ain't gonna natively update to the next newest version when what are we on, 24 H2? So when 25 H2 comes out, it wouldn't be native to it. But there's the case. There's the top of it there. We do not have the top USB 3 working yet, but we will get there, I promise you. I don't know if the bottom one, if the back side's working either. It wasn't working before, but I may have put the drivers in for that. Let's just throw that all around. I'm trying to plug it in to test the USB while we're doing the closeout here, so, and I want to test it to see if that 3.0 is working right after we got Windows installed. Yep, it's working fine. So you can see it says open folder to view files, and there it is. That's just one of the boot folders right there. And that one's going to be for our Windows 11 Legacy. So this is non-UEFI Windows 11 right there. I did those off of Rufus. I'll have to show that one day when I'm doing one of the recordings with the OBS. Because I can show my desktop and I can show this desktop at the same time. And I think the audio worked from this one too, so that's pretty cool. That's going to do it for the video though. This is a build I've been looking forward to getting to. It is. Thank you again, Dan. Dan sent me some motherboards down, and this was the holy grail of them, the Asus X58 Sabertooth board, and it had the 960 in it. I'm not real sold on the 960. Like I said, we are going to upgrade that because it's cheap to get this stuff off of Evil Bay now. I would suspect in the future the prices on this is going to go up because you have people like me that will not get rid of these 1366s, and I'm one of them. And there's more like me out there, so you gotta kind of scoop them up while you can, right? You can run the Xeons in them because that's what I have in my other ones, but I'm gonna go ahead and stay with the 980 or 990 in this one. I think that'll be a good processor for it. Other than that though, that's going to do it for the video, guys and gals. I want to thank each and every one of you for tuning into these videos. And this one's old school fun. Let's take the side off of it so you can get you a better look in there. You know, we'll get our teeth up in there, right? Give you a little rundown of the specs one more time here before we shut this down. So you can see that we clearly got our Asus Sabertooth board hiding in here. There's all of our memory. Our Thermaltake Freon cooler right here. You gotta love that, right? Running two 120mm NZXT fans in the front, and we're running one 120 in the back. But we got two 120mm fans, or 140mm fans on our CPU cooler, our Freon cooler right here. So it's running nice and cool. Of course, our Sapphire R9 280Xs right here, two of them. And then our high power 1000 watt power supply right there. On the back of this that you can't see, we have a 500 gig PNY SSD, and we're in a Thermaltake case. I don't know what model the case is though. I didn't look that up. I'll try to find it and then post it, or one of you can comment what model it is. Some of you probably have the case and know exactly what it is. But everything's working on it except our front USB 3.0, but we'll put an add-in card in here for that since this motherboard don't have provisions for it. But we have an empty spot right in between those graphics cards that we can fit one of those, so it's there. Tell me what you think of this build. Is it something, if you had the parts laying around, that you would do? And also, how many of you that view these videos are still gaming on the 1366 platform? So comment down below and let me know that. I'm curious to see how many of you guys are like me and you just love these things. I don't know, but it's getting too long. Like, comment, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Tuesday night, 6 o'clock p.m. Eastern time, video uploads. We're gonna do a brand new Thursday night live stream starting at about 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern time. So I'm gonna stretch those out so more people are home and we can get more viewers tuning in and engaging in that. We're just gonna try a different time slot, right? We'll see how it works, but thank you once again for tuning in, and we'll catch you on the very next SimStation production.